You're watching the Green Machine live, your home for Irish football news and nostalgia, where you, the lovely fans out there on Facebook and YouTube, can have your say. David, your host here, joined as always by Martin. No, Nick. Martin, how are you doing? I see you've got rid of the rubbish in the back. No O'Dowda shirt. Thank you.
Jesus, that's what a harsh welcome that is. I want to wish everyone a happy Easter, David.
Oh, fuck no.
We don't know where Nick is. He'll probably rise again tomorrow, but let's see what happens.
Hey.
But yeah, looking forward to the show. Lots and lots to discuss, lots of events coming up. So yeah, really looking forward to it. And I have been told by my kids I have to give them a shout out, so I might as well do it now. Cian, Grace, and Erin, go to bed.
Go to bed, you little bastards. Hello, Mrs. Prendergast, if you're watching. Yes, no, Nick. Sorry, we're a bit late going up. A couple of technical snafus. We were actually just recording a podcast before this. We'll tell you about more of that later. As always, have your say, leave a comment, get involved. Why not? Not really much going on in the world of football. Say hello, please. Otherwise, it might look a little bit desperate. But we'll get to those comments later on. How are you, Martin? This is the bit where I care to pretend about your life.
Yeah, all good, Dave.
Yeah,
still kind of just recovering from the exploits of our many trips and watching Ireland recently, but it does take its toll after a few aways, because they are away games for me, obviously, and yourself Dave. I've been traveling home. But no, it's been an interesting one. Back into the domestic Premier League. Championship football, some good results for the lads over the weekend, a promotion for some of our players as well, which is always nice to see. But yeah, interesting, and I've got a busy April coming up, lots of events which will I'm sure be of interest as well to some of the listeners.
No, and you know what, it has been a very good week. Some of our lads are now Premier League. We'll get into that in a second. Not much going on here, Martin, to be honest with you. Happy Easter. How many Easter eggs have you had?
Oh, just nick the kids' stuff. That's brilliant.
I just nick
their stuff. Yeah, just if it's hanging around, they put it down. Me or the dog gets it. So,
the dog.
Yeah,
shouldn't have the dog.
No, I know. All right.
Yeah, just anyone there
if they get it, it's their own.
Just anyone from PETA. It's at PrendyM on Twitter. Send your hate tweets over there. Right, we're going to get straight into it. Let's get a little bit of our boys in green. And I know somebody's going to say we haven't got the music. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I haven't done it. I've been very busy. So here we go. Just pretend there's music. There you are. Boys in green. Sorry about that. I keep that guy is going to lose his shit. Has he mentioned yet in the comments? No, he hasn't. Sorry, we will get that going. Right, boys in green. Nick isn't here. Where is Nick, by the way? United won.
I don't know. Portugal, probably. Is it Ronaldo's birthday or something? He's probably celebrating that.
Yeah, Sagre or whatever, back visiting the homeland. Right, well, I'll get my sexy voice out since we don't have Nick's. So, here we are. Tom Cannon, 2 goals. He is on fire, that lad. And a Robbie Brady assist for Preston North End in a 2-0 win over QPR. Sorry, Declan, if you're watching. Connor Coventry with an assist for Rotherham in a 4-1 win over West Bromwich Albion. You know, when Nick sent that over in the WhatsApp group, his autocorrect hit over and took over, and it said Connie Coventry.
Yeah. I was hoping you were going to put that up, but you're too much of a professional.
Absolutely. I actually kind of was. But I said, no, I won't. Connor Shaughnessy got a goal for Burton Albion, a 2-1 win over Barnsley. James Collins and Dave McGoldrick got a goal each for Derby in a 2-0 win over Forest Green Rovers. Olamide Shadipo, I think, there's a bit of sellotape on that. An assist for Lincoln in a 2-0 win over Cheltenham. Sean Raggett with an assist for Portsmouth in a 1-1. God, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Sorry, Sean. For a 1-1 draw for Portsmouth against MK Dons. Danny Crowley, I thought that was Dan. I think Nick is a little bit too familiar there for my liking. With an assist for Morecambe in a 3-1 loss to Plymouth. Jamie McCrath goal. Nice penalty, actually, for Dundee United in a 2-1 win over Hibs. And James Furlong with an assist for Motherwell in a 3-0 win against Livingston. And obviously, yes, Josh Cullen is Premier League. Fair play to him. And possibly Derek Costello and Michael Obafemi. They secured that with a 2-0 win over 2-1 win over Middlesbrough at the Riverside on Friday. I'm just wondering, I've read it, I've seen it, but I haven't seen it confirmed. Sorry, I've seen it written around social media, but I haven't seen it confirmed. But Michael Obafemi, has that gone through? I don't think it's been finalised yet, has it?
I've read that it is on Wales Online saying that's obviously, I'd imagine the information's come from Swansea then, that he has made that move permanent. And I would imagine that that's because they've obviously got promotion, and part of the deal, the loan move, would be that, they take him on a full-time contract, and, with a right to buy, basically, if he gets promotion for them. Some interesting footage on Twitter I've seen of the team bus. He's enjoying himself. I did have the pleasure of meeting Michael Obafemi at the team hotel with Ireland a few weeks ago. Great form, really nice lad. He's actually came through as underage teams around like Northwest London, so I'm familiar with some of the youth teams, and I'm all about the grassroots, as I've said before. And had a good chat with him there. But yeah, fair play to him. And I think it's I'm quite a fan of Vincent Kompany as a manager. I think he done a fantastic interview with Sky the other night, where actually Keith Andrews, our assistant manager, was the pundit as well, chatting away to him. But really good insight into how he's prepared that team, and I think they'll do well in the Premier League. And I think we have to remember he brought Josh Cullen with him from Anderlecht, and now he's got promotion, so he's going to be a massive key player. It's only going to do Josh Cullen all the best for his career now. Being in the Premier League next year is going to be a bigger challenge for him. Obafemi, I've seen some people kind of been quite scathing, saying, well, he hasn't even played for Burnley. But, they're a promotion chasing side. They've got promotion now. And, he's going to have a full pre-season with them. I think he's got the ability to play in the Premier League, and I hope he does really well with them. And I can't see it that, he's going to be back in the Championship next year, as some people are saying. I mean, why we want our players to fail, I don't know. And just off topic, well, not off topic a little bit, I think notable from that list that was excellently compiled by Nick and read by you. I think it's interesting to know that David McGoldrick, that was his 20th goal this season. And that is amazing. It's a shame in a way that he kind of said goodbye to Ireland so quick, relatively early in his career, because he's still firing in the goals.
Well, he decided it.
Yeah, he did. And I know it's a level of League One and stuff, but it just shows you, if you manage your body well, like, Paul McGrath did for many, many years. And Roy Keane as well. Little scoop. But they, you can just kind of get every kind of ounce out of your career. And I think fair play to him doing that. And the other player, I think, from that list we need to mention is Tom Cannon. Played and scored for the under-21s last week.
He's on fire, isn't he?
He's on fire. But I've seen a very interesting tweet actually saying, but for kind of the publicity around Evan Ferguson, he would be getting all the plaudits. And I think it's only right that us and the Green Machine, and me in particular, as Mr. Positive of the Green Machine, get completely carried away now.
Yeah.
And we need to get him in the senior squad in June, and we need to cap him and protect him from, the greedy hands of England coming in. And, you look at his goals, frightening what he's doing to different, headers. I know it's against QPR. I'll upset Declan now by saying that, but I'm sure Dec was at the game, so it'll be interesting to see if he's listening to the show what he thought of Tom Cannon's performance yesterday.
Yep. And just speaking of your positivity on Josh Cullen, I think they're going to get absolutely mullered in the Premier League next year.
I think the problem they're going to have is, I think Vincent Kompany will hopefully bring that. Well, he will bring them up. He'll get.
He will be fired.
He will. No, he won't get fired. He'll get brought in. Someone else will get him from Burnley. I think they'll just get carried away with his success, and that's going to be.
This is what's going to happen. He's going to go into the Championship trying to play that football, and they're going to get destroyed. And then Burnley are going to panic, and they're going to fire Vincent Kompany, and then I'll get in like a Sam Allardyce type guy. You heard it here first. And Josh Cullen, I like Josh Cullen, but I have said I don't think he's quite a Premier League player. Just saying.
Ah, Jesus.
I'm being honest with you.
Not at all. I'm telling you.
Listen,
you've got to appreciate him. I don't care. That's not it. We're not going to go down analysing the Premier League, but I'm just saying, he's more than capable.
I was going to say at the time, but you were just kind of going off on one, Mr. Positivity, sprinkling your Martin.
They will get turned over if they play that openly in the Premier League. They will get turned over a lot,
and
but
that's
I don't
what
think they will. And I don't know if they will, or I think if he wants to do that, he'll have to be obviously invested in the transfer market. But
he wears a cap.
I can see him coming out of that someone coming in for him company, and I think he'll get a big job that will be hard for him to turn down. And then you'll see Josh Cullen moving again to another Premier League side because he's good enough. He definitely is good enough.
He wears a cap. He's going to play attack of football. That seems to be news. I know Tony Pulis did, but he wears a cap, baseball hat, and he's trying to be dynamic and all. He's done a good job, but I think he's going to get absolutely found out in the Premier League. I need to just move my camera over. I've just nudged it over for a second there. Just for those of you watching, you can have a lovely look at our Green Machine shirt there, available on the shop. It's like a little advert we're going to do now, isn't it? Look.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
yeah.
It is lovely in the flesh as well.
It is. Just keep talking into that, Martin, as I adjust my camera.
Yeah, it is a absolutely lovely shirt. Nike, official Nike, may I add as well. It's the embroidered Green Machine podcast logo on it. And yeah, thanks for everyone who's brought it so far. We've been sending them far and wide. We've sent them to Ireland, England, and also America was our first purchase. So thanks to the lads who brought that. And yeah, do keep buying them because there is only a few limited supply left. And we will have to buy some more, hopefully. And yeah, it's just supporting the pod as well. So we do appreciate everyone who's putting a few quid our way.
And I have to say this, right? I mean, a lot of people have bought it and they've been quite positive about it. But I have to admit, some of the guys on there have just been incredible, haven't they? In terms of begrudgery. A few comments we've had to take off. You know who you are if you're watching.
Yeah, look, you're always going to get that. Look, you're always going to get that, aren't you? And like we do the pod for the fans, by the fans in a sense, is what we all say. And we're not making millions of pounds out of anything here. We've actually put more money into doing this. It's a journey of love, I would say, for Irish football than anything. And so we do appreciate people's support and feedback, obviously, and subscribes and likes and follows on Twitter. We've had some brilliant Twitter followers this week, some high profile ones as well.
Ronnie Whelan,
Ian Hart, John Byrne. So Jim Beglin, I think, followed us as well, or he better
He's
now.
Mine, Martin. You stay away from him. Jim's mine.
Fantastic. We've had some fantastic interaction with.
We have.
And I think. Again, we mentioned the Confederation of Supporters Club. We had a great night out there, meeting, Irish legends as well. Lots of fans, lovely things to say about the podcast.
Absolutely.
And we have some podcast badges coming out soon as well. So, yeah, thanks for everyone for their support. It is appreciated.
It's all there. So another shameless plug. There it is. It's available £40, €45, free delivery, anywhere in the world. Come on. What are you waiting for? Look at it. It's lovely. Martin's wearing it. Martin, go on. Shows you. Are you wearing it, Martin?
No, I'm not wearing it. No. I'm not wearing it. Jesus. But it just shows you. It looks like I'm wearing it because it's the same green. I have it here in the corner here somewhere.
Oh, Christ. Let's get back to the players. Evan Ferguson was in action and he was a substitute. He didn't actually, he didn't score. But a lovely stat came out about him from The Athletic. But I think it's sort of like a thing that's been put across the entirety of the internet. Of players with 500 plus PL minutes this season, only Erling Haaland has a better minutes per goal involvement rate than Evan Ferguson. He's got a goal every 64 minutes, and Evan Ferguson has one at 90 minutes. His potential is frightening, as demonstrated by his backheel finish against Bournemouth. During the week, he did score a lovely back flick. This lad can do it all, can't he? Left foot, right foot, power, finesse, header.
Yeah,
he's raw, but he's phenomenal.
He's raw. I got carried away, and I'm not going to be ashamed to say it. I think he's the future for us. And I did actually post this week a video of him talking about that stat. And I think it's nice actually to to kind of promote our players. Some of our managers have been saying that for a long time. Our coaches and saying, for a long time, it's easy to slag people off and especially when they're very young. And I know he's 18, but I mean, the stats incredible. I mean, we're comparing him to that, like, it's fair play. You're comparing him to like a middle level kind of Norwegian striker, struggling a little bit. But you know, I think he is the real deal. And I think I compared it this week to when Robbie Keane famously came into the senior squad, like was saying, where's Aldridge, where's Quinn? You know, that's the ambition of the lad. And I don't think we have that with Evan Ferguson because you just see him grounded. Stephen Kenny spoke really highly of him, saying when he came in, nothing phased him, did the training drills, did the finishing drills, was just amazing technically. And we're seeing that in the Premier League. And I think it's lovely St. Kevin's boys where we come through have also posted some amazing videos of him playing years ago, scoring very similar goals to what he's doing now at the very, very top level.
No, absolutely. I just have to come across there, Martin. I've just seen something interesting in comments. By the way, you guys watching, Dan and John, we will get your comments in a minute, but I just have to come across here. We're going to talk about the women's team now, and I want to dedicate this. I want to dedicate talking about the women's football team to a very special guest who's commented there, a very special commentator. Guess who it is, Martin? Guess who's actually worked out how to use a stream?
Brilliant. I don't know. Should we credit?
Mr. Neil Jewson.
Oh, there we go.
How are you, Neil? How are you? You just sit back and relax, pal. We're going to talk all women's football because this man loves women's football. Doesn't he, Martin?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's where we do the podcast. Look, I think we'd have to focus on the women's football. I thought that was a fantastic performance yesterday against the USA, a top team in international women's football for many, many years. World Cup winners, really good side. And, you know, Ireland, we're trying to get to that level. Vera Pauw's very, very honest with the women's game in Ireland and where they need to be to develop. And you look at the story of that. I know it won't be popular with Neil, but if you look back at, you know, where we've come from, I think even, you know, we've competed against, you know, some of the men's academy teams and things like that. And it's because that's the starting point of women's football. I mean, the challenges the girls have faced to even get there is incredible. And it's just going to get bigger, whether you like it or not. It's just getting bigger in the world, right? So you've just got to get on with it. Now, you don't have to be a fan. You don't have to put your hand in your pocket to go and watch them. But I don't see the point of slagging it off and saying, "Oh, you're just jumping on the woke wagon" or whatever it is. I've actually given a bit more time to it in the last 3 or 4 years than I ever did, and you know, I actually quite enjoy it now. I think the players are kind of household names now, especially the success of the Lionesses over in England. I think with the women in Ireland, you know, they're household names. Everyone knows Katie Taylor, who was a former Irish player. Everyone knows Emma Byrne. Everyone knows Olivia O'Toole, Sue Ronan. We've had Katie McCabe, Denise O'Sullivan, 100 caps for your country, and yet was kind of a lot of people kind of think, oh, well, it's rubbish, it's crap level. The game was really entertaining yesterday. Like, I know RTE's stream cut out 85 minutes. It was as reliable as ours sometimes, Dave. But well, ours is always reliable.
Exactly.
You know, I found it very interesting. I thought it was a good game. And I'm actually looking forward to the Women's World Cup, and I don't see the point of being negative about it. It's happening. Get behind the girls, and on the back of it, money will be invested into football, and that will also go towards lads and girls. So I just don't see the point of being negative about it, and I'm all for that.
Yeah, sorry, Neil, but the women have found their way out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
What can you do? Sure, they'll be voting next. That's what he's probably thinking. Yeah, all very exciting coming up this summer. And don't you forget, Neil, don't you miss it. We're going to have all the coverage. We're going to have all the build-up for the Women's World Cup and all the details so you can watch it to your heart's content.
One thing I would say on the women's game, though, is actually on the match. I think it was interesting. You know, this is a massive challenge, I think, for Vera Pauw in how, you know, she's going to manage the squad, basically, because we're bringing in players and capping them now. And it's always a danger when you qualify. I think there will be a fallout from this, in a sense, which just happens in football. They're playing a professional game. That's it now. You know, bringing in like the likes of Farrelly made a debut yesterday. Very, very good. We're bringing in better players now. And, you know, Vera Pauw's very honest in her interview. She's actually saying when we're playing a little bit different now because we brought in a better player who can do that for us. And that's only going to improve some of our players who we probably were very, very reliant on for many, many years. So, for example, Katie McCabe plays left back or left wing back, or sometimes she can play up front. So, you know, we're now bringing in players who are strengthening the squad. And I think it's a massive challenge for Vera Pauw. but she is a very experienced manager, and how she's going to handle leaving out some of the girls who basically got us qualification. And that's just, again, it happens with the lads. So it's going to happen with the girls as well.
Jack did it.
Yeah. And we're bringing in a lot better player now, and it's only going to improve the team. And I thought Caruso was very, very good up front as well. And I think the way we're playing, we really put it up to America last night. And I'm looking forward to the game. It's early hours in the morning on Tuesday, but I'll be getting up and watching it because I think it's worth getting behind the girls. And the brilliant bond between them. I think, again, I know I often on the podcast use this as an opportunity to praise the FAI's media departments. I think the women's one does a very good job with it because they're letting us in the door basically to see the kind of character and personalities of the women. And I know it's not your bag all the time, Dave, but I think they do a good job with it.
Excuse me. Don't be confusing me with a certain Mr. Jewson there. I'm all for women's games. I just don't have much bloody time to watch it. Don't even know what day it is most of the time, Martin. No, fantastic stuff there. And looking forward to the rematch on Tuesday. But I think the last time Ireland played America, they lost like 4-0 or something. They got an absolute hiding.
Yeah, it was a lot of better game yesterday. They created a lot of chances.
They're improving.
Goal disallowed. Really good.
They're getting better, 100%. There's not really a lot going on social media watch. That's the next one that comes up and the comments. Will we go into the comments, Martin? Will we? Bit of social media watching comments.
Can do, yeah. And then I've got some interesting
news
coming up as well.
All right, let's do the social media comments now. There you go. Sorry, no music. Oh, Christ. Not really much social media stuff going on. To be fair, we were given. There's a new page. He's relatively new, anyway. We're going to give him a little shout out here. Irish Football Zone. 100 followers only after 3 weeks of being active on this account. Loving all the interaction so far. Irish Football Zone at Irish Footy Zone. Give him or her. We don't actually know. Give them. Let's play it safe. Give them a follow over there on Twitter. I don't fucking know who these people are. Nick just goes, here, follow this. Okay. Give them a follow and see what it's all about there. Because we do like to actually support other pages. We do. We're lovely. Anyway, so we're going to move on to the comments. So John Griffith gives a little thumbs up. How are you, John? Hope you're well on our Facebook page. Daryl O'Connor, as always. What's the story, lads? He's having a few bevies and he's watching us. Probably, if I was watching us, I would probably need a few bevies too. Daryl O'Connor on YouTube again. David and Martin, have you any Mad Ireland facts? Mine is I was McCool, the mascot for Ireland v Norway last November. Nearly broke my neck. Couldn't see a thing.
What? I don't get that.
He was the McCool mascot. He is McCool. Daryl O'Connor is McCool.
I mean, hang on. McCool was not real. What? Oh, that is pretty cool, actually. Yeah, look, this is cool. McCool is the famous Irish Wolfhound dog, Irish mascot from '88, and Chris, the Confederation of Sports Clubs, brought the costume. Hopefully, kids aren't watching this, but brought the costume, and Daryl, fair play. I didn't know that you were one of the people who had took part in that, and it's a big task doing that job as a mascot, and those suits apparently stink, but I'm sure the established lovely Chris members who take on the role are fresh as a daisy.
Do you remember the original McCool mascot, like from the 80s? That they actually had the guy walking around, looked like he had fucking scurvy or something. Have you ever seen it? Like,
mangy dog.
It's fucking terrible. Like if I saw it, I'd be like fucking trying to hit it with
drag that to a vet.
Yeah,
drag it to a vet.
Put down. No, that's really cool. Let me see. Because he's the only fucking commenting. So
a random Irish fact. I
have a few of them.
Well, you worked as Paddy. You're Paddy Power, and you worked.
Did, yeah. I told the story, didn't I? When I was going around with all the bag full of money, and the old groundsman in the old Lansdowne was driving me around. I was sitting on the back of his truck, and he drove me around the pitch with my boss. All the fucking thousands of euros. I'm trying to think of another one.
Well, you can see the picture above me, the video views. That's when I collected my son, Kean, when we collected the Euro Fans Award. That was pretty cool. But a funny story I have is, I don't know if I've told us on the podcast before, is I was talking to security from the Aviva at an event once, and they told me the amount of kids that are left behind on match days is ridiculous. And I went, like, what are you talking about? Like, and they're going, like, probably 10 plus per game, right? And they've had someone on a bus by the Red Cow roundabout answering their phone. That's how far away they were when they went, your son is here at the stadium still, and you've left him behind. And they were ringing the mother as well.
Oh,
I think that's brilliant.
Christ, I say he got battered when he went home. I will tell you a story, right? Fuck it. It's a quiet note. It's Sunday, Easter Sunday. Every other smart fucker's out there having a few pints or chocolate, and we're here delivering a service to the Irish fans tonight, you and I, Martin. But I'll tell you a funny story. I almost popped my cherry in the old Lansdowne Road. There you go. Jeez. True story, right? Girl was seen at the time. She was a mad fucker, actually.
Jesus Christ! Don't let this go out.
No, I won't tell that story. It never happened.
Yeah,
it never happened.
That story. Jesus.
No. You know, honestly, like, all it was that she was sort of hinting at it, going into the toilet. I was like, "What, really?" And she was kind of dragging me in, and this older steward kind of saw it look in her eye and kind of stood there staring at us by the toilets, and ended up going the other way. But yeah, almost happened.
Nice. I think not that we're trying to fill the show this evening, but I've got some cool little bits of memorabilia that I picked up recently, which brings us quite nicely on to KitCon, which is happening on the 16th at the... Where is it, Dave? Where our very own Nick is emceeing. KitCon Era is at the Carlton Airport Hotel in Dublin on the 16th of April.
There you go.
Fair play to Nick, getting invited back to that. Me and Dave don't ever get invited back in.
No, yeah, never mention it.
Pretty cool. And I think Eddie Mahoney, former guest of the pod, is on that on the panel for that, showing off some of his iconic Irish sporting memorabilia, which should be good. So yeah, get yourself to that if you fancy seeing some of the kit stuff. I'm sure Nick will have a few of our shirts there available if anyone wants to pick up any of them as well. And yeah, that's something I thought was pretty cool. There it is. And this is something I picked up recently, which I think is really cool.
What's that?
This is an official training ball from the Euro 2016. So I managed to get that. I'm quite happy.
And how did you manage to get that, Martin?
No, I got that. I bought that off a friend of mine, so who was selling that, which is pretty cool. This was actually picked up from the Crisk Awards last week. This was gifted to any child who went to the event. Now, my son didn't end up coming to it because I said, well, Nick and Dave are going to be there, and they thought Nick.
Well,
Nick they didn't really want to watch. Nick was our child.
He was,
and he didn't really watch. But that's signed by the whole squad. And what I like about this is if you can kind of pick up, some of the lads have signed, you know, when they put numbers on their, their signatures, so we know who they are. So, for example, 13.
Shane Long on there with number 9.
I can't find the number 9. Well, I don't know. Is he number? I don't know who number 9 is.
Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty cool. And then this is another really random one. When I was over a few weeks ago for the Ireland game, and I went to the Crisk Awards, and then the next day I went back down to Kilkenny, and I went to the league semi-final, Cork versus Kilkenny, and very strangely, the umpire for the match was, I think I said this as well before, was a member of Supporters Club, our London branch, Eddie Leonard. And Eddie was the umpire. And I said to him before the game, when I saw him before the match, I said, "I'll make sure you get me a slitter from today." And he delivered. He got me one of the slitters from the game, which is pretty cool.
That's everything.
And look, I think this is pretty cool. Look, it's a little tag thing for the digital, whatever it is, for when it goes in the back of the net, which I know Kilkenny didn't win today, but anyway, that's my little memorabilia watch, I suppose.
There you go. Sorry, Dad, we sort of went off and they probably shared too much information. He also says it's great to see Obafemi and Cullen. Hopefully, Egan should follow suit with Sheffield United. And Dalacon also mentions Mick McCarthy and that new Green Machine top, both equally beautiful.
Definitely.
Look, mustache of a Titan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I know, like we know you love Mick. I'm very sad in a way to see him ending his managerial career so far with being mutually agreed. Him and TC have left Blackpool.
Mutually consented out the door.
It's a hard task there, though. You know, that's a club in turmoil, and that's a
some
big
of the
shame.
comments though were like quite vicious against him. Yeah. On Lansing Road, I was like, really? Okay. I mean, what was he gonna do? Like, they're completely fucked. They're gone. But yeah. Anyway, that's probably. We love Mick. I want to get this signed by Mick. Actually, do you think he'll sign it, or do you think he'll wrap it around my head?
No, he'll sign it.
He'll sign. He's a good lad. And yet again, before we get to the last part of the show, Green Machine Podcast shirt is available on our website, greenmachinepodcast.com, thegreenmachinepodcast.com. It's Nike, it's embroidered, it's lovely. There it is there, £40, €45, anywhere in the world, free shipping. Come on. The actual shirt itself was like 85 quid, the official shirt. We do for the love of the game and our wallets.
And if you do want to buy one and you want us to collect it in person, you can do so from me in London if you are based in the UK or London. Especially, I don't mind meeting people to drop it off to you. But one thing, and perhaps you might want to do so on the 21st of, this is a nice little segue into this, on the 21st of April.
I got you covered, big man.
There you go. Wrist London club meeting. We've got a special guest coming over. Keith Andrews is coming over to the Cladder Ring in Hendon. That's northwest London for our listeners. So yeah, it should be quite good. Have a Q&A with him. It's a long time in the arranging this. But yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously, he's a pundit on Sky as well. He's done focusing a lot of, watching the lads in action. Him and Stephen Kenny, obviously very close with the backroom staff, Dean Kiley as well on. So we're going to have a good Q&A with him. It's always good at our Wrist London events. So yeah, more than welcome to come along. You don't have to be a member to come along. Come along, meet Keith Andrews, find out a bit more about the Supporters Club as well. More than welcome.
You're also going to be somewhere else. Where are you also going to be? In the Victoria area?
Victoria area?
Yeah, the embassy.
No, that's in Manchester, that one.
Oh,
right, this one.
But there's an embassy in Manchester as well, is there?
Yeah, so this is another event which we have posted on our social media. And this is a brilliant event, actually, arranged by the Consulate General of Ireland.
Oh, the consulate. Oh, okay.
The consulate, the north of England. And this is an event in Manchester, and it's actually taking place at the National Football Museum. And there are some Irish bits of memorabilia in the museum as well.
Martin probably has them.
No. So it's on the Thursday, the 27th of April, and we put a link up on our socials where you can, with the email address where you can register. It's a free event, and this is focusing on Irish football. It's actually a book launch, which is a friend of the pod, Gareth Maher, who focuses with the media of the FAI with the women's team in particular. So he's in America at the moment. And he's got a book out called Away Days, 30 Years of Irish Footballers in the Premier League at the National Football Museum is where it's going to be held. And it's just chatting to a few brilliant... I've got the book, actually. I've read it. It is very good. A lot of good interviews with Seamus Coleman, John O'Shea, Shay Gibbons mentioned in it. And also... So basically, I think what he's done is very cleverly sat down with the lads, done an interview with them. So there's some brilliant ones because there's some very, very high profile and some less known. And all play for Ireland. Some of the women as well are in it. But at this Q&A they're doing with the book launch, John O'Shea, John Waters, and Niamh Fahey are going to be at that. They're going to be announcing some more guests as well. But it's a night where the MC of the night is not actually Nick coming over for this one. This is the famous voice of Old Trafford, Alan Keegan. He's going to be doing this, hosting this event there in the National Football Museum in Manchester. So a few of us from Wrist London are going up there to it. So looking forward to it. And it's a free event. So if you are based in the northwest of England, in Manchester, get yourself along to it because I think it'd be quite a good event and get to meet the lads and obviously embassy people.
So there you go. It's not in Victoria. I was in the embassy. I don't know. I was like, wow.
No, I can't say too much, but there are some events happening soon in the London embassy. Well, we will update you on.
Good stuff. Right, we're going to move on to the last section of the show. This is Oh, not Social Media Watch. This week, back in the day. And it is back. This Wednesday, we have a new episode. Martin and I have literally just recorded before we went live. That's why we're a little bit late coming on, so sorry about that. Yes, we are going to be talking about, because it happens this week back in 2004. Where is it? Here we are. Roy Keane returns to Ireland. It happened on the 13th of April, 2004. And look at Brian Kerr. Isn't he so happy with his man? He's got his man. Bet you wish you were that close to Roy, Martin, wouldn't you?
I've been that close to Roy.
I bet you. I bet you have.
No, it's really enjoyable episode to record and very fascinating. I know you tried to get me involved in the Saipan debate again, but very interesting.
How dare you, Martin? I went in there as fair and as balanced as possible, as any Irish football fan would.
There you go.
Yeah, there you are.
Very enjoyable. It's worth a listen, I think. So
absolutely.
Let us know your feedback.
If you want to hear about the treachery of Roy Keane that Martin agrees with, tune in next Wednesday. It will be available 8 a.m. Wednesday. What date is Wednesday? I think it actually falls on the day. No, it's the 12th. It'll be released on the 12th, Wednesday, the 12th of April, about that particular event. On the 13th of April, we will go through his checkered past, not just Saipan, by the way. We'll talk a bit about that, about what Fergie said, about what some of the ex-players said at the time, and what some of the players in the squad at the time. And of course, we will have this gem of a clip.
Keane has I can't understand. Alex Ferguson would not let him go 2 years ago to play for Ireland when he was a reasonable player. Now, at a stage when he is struggling, at a stage when he is struggling,
it's a silly commentary.
It's not silly.
Roy Keane's one of
you have the copyright on silly comments. This.
If you want to hear all of that clip, tune in to the podcast, which will be released on the greenmachinepodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts from, Spotify, Google, the whole lot. And also will be on the YouTube channel if that's what you want to listen to it on. Got one last comment. And from Daryl, bless him. I love Brian Kerr, but Jesus, he was bitter about Kenny after a class performance against France. In Kenny, we trust. Yes, he was very bitter about that, Brian Kerr. But anyway, listen, that is all we have time for. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Easter eggs. I have I did have one. Do you know what I did this year? I bought a Mars one and a Cadbury's one because I couldn't decide. Just thought I'd share it with you. Anyway, that's all we have time for on this week's episode. We will see you again next Sunday, 9:30. Hopefully we'll be on time. Obviously, we got the episode on Wednesday this week, back in the day. A bit more content coming over the next few weeks. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter. And also do check out the greenmachinepodcast.com. That is the greenmachinepodcast.com, where you can get an audio version of this episode and basically everything we've pretty much released. And you can also get this. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that one there. You can get a lovely shirt for £40 or €45, free shipping anywhere in the world. Anyway, that's all we have time for, guys. Thank you very much. Martin, I suppose I should thank you as well for showing up. I guess. Yeah. And that's it. Come on, you boys in green.